And welcome back to Deathbattle Prediction. And obviously the Carnage vs. Lucy Deathbattle popped up today. Obviously, I'm also not going to spoil. I might spoil a little bit, kind of like what my thoughts was. And if you've watched my videos, you'll know who I thought won. But basically, if you don't want to understand what my opinion is, skip a little ahead in this video. Say like around the 40-second mark. But who I thought did not win, and I'll admit I'm a little mixed on that from the way they explained it. It does make sense, but I feel they may have left a bit out on one character. So I don't know. I can live with the call, but I can't say I'm 100% happy with the. It was a good fight though. This next one, yeah, I got a beverage here because it's hot. So, Optimus Prime versus Gundam. Now, they said Gundam in the description for it. I believe the Gundam they are using, one second, because I also got the thumbnail for this. I'll tell you, if I don't have to make a thumbnail, I won't do it. I'll usually, especially if it's already on like the the Deathbattle wiki fandom, which means it's just free to use, which I'm like, good. But let's see now, what was that? Gundam, I believe that was the one I used. Yeah, Gundam, I believe the model they're using, when you think Gundam, it's the Gundam you think of. It's model RX-78-2 Gundam, I believe they're using. Now, I'm of two competing minds. Size-wise, I think they're roughly equal, but I think Optimus might be the slightly larger of the two. It all depends on the interpretation you're looking at. If not, they're roughly equal. Actually, I'm even seeing a few side comparisons showing that the Gundam might actually be slightly larger, but not by much. Like, I don't know, 10 feet, which really in robot terms is not by much, or maybe even 5 feet. Point being, though, size, it's not going to come down to physical size in this. It's really not. This is not going to be a battle of who's physically stronger, who's, great. It will partially be a battle of who can take the better damage and who might be able to outmaneuver, but strength's not going to be a factor in this. But one series key difference in this, unlike, say, can't remember which Gundam that was fighting the Tiger Zord, but Epsilon? Oh, no, it was a system in there. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But unlike that one, this is not a fight between man-pilot mechs. This is a fight between a Gundam, a guy piloting a mech, and a sentient robotic being. So right off the bat, I give the edge right now to Optimus, simply for the fact that the pilot has to make commands, react to the commands, and the machine has to react to them. Now, I do believe these things react in real time, but still, it's on him to make those choices, understand what's coming at him, and react to what's coming at him. Whereas Optimus is basically just like a big dude who can react on his own right and everything in between. So, in terms of reacting and actually basically having better control of themselves, if that makes sense, it is Optimus who holds an edge in that regard. But in terms of their equipment, I'll admit, what equipment does this Gundam have on him? Hold on, Gundam. Let's see now, because Optimus, he has cannons, he has a sword. I know he's got quite a bit on him. Let's see now, I believe it's RX. Oh yeah, RX-78-2. That looks like the model. Okay, so what does this guy honestly have in his armor? Okay, he's got his saber beam. I remember that. The Vulcan gun. Saber. Now his saber beam is different than Optimus's. I don't believe Optimus has an energy sword. I think he can heat that sword up, as we've seen, which gives it an increased cutting power. But it's not an energy saber. It's particle beam, basically. Interesting. Beam javelin, an ultimate form of the beam saber. He's got a hammer, large spike ball in the chain, a beam rifle, hyper bazooka, and a shield. That's all well and good. It's all a matter of what does Optimus bring to the table and how much it is. Because ultimately, the mech, if it were sentient, would be nothing different than another Transformer, be it Decepticon or Autobot. Or Predacon versus Maximo if you go for the Beast Wars, which I loved. See, I was never big on Transformers, the TV show, even though it was a little past my time. They brought new versions out on it. It was a little past my time, or before my time. But I grew up on Beast Wars. I loved Beast Wars. So let's see. Optimus. What does Optimus, generally speaking, what does Optimus bring to the table? In a conventional, like his primary arsenal. The Deathbattle might go into more obscure things, maybe even go to more obscure forms. Like, yeah, because Optimus has been known to fuse with other Transformers to create bigger, better forms of Optimus. But in general, what is... Wow, geez. Toys, merchandise... oh, God. See, they're not giving me his actual... they're giving me, like, all of his history in all of the Transformers that he's been in. But that's not giving me, okay, the Optimus Prime Transformer, but I don't need the Transformers wiki from though I'm sure they'll reference. That's the thing. With Optimus, it's a bit of a weirder stance because they'll probably go over the majority of not just the cartoon and comics, but also in, say, like the movies, live action movies and things. So it's tough. Again, in terms of actual fighting, Optimus might be better at it simply for the fact that he's not a person in a machine. He is a sentient machine that can fight on his own free volition and therefore react accordingly. It's a tough call. That saber sword is definitely going to be a bit of an X factor for the Gundam. Again, without knowing exactly what Optimus is going to be bringing to the table, and transforming into a car is not going to, back into a truck is not going to help. Though his, I do remember that his tractor trailer was able to transform and be like a support for something. It could either turn into like wings, or it could like carry his weaponry. So it's very possible. My hair, I just got out of the shower too, by the way. Sorry about if my hair looks a little off. I'm gonna give it to Optimus, not for a popularity stance or anything like that, but I think Optimus has enough factors, because he has some similar weaponry to the Gundam RX-78-2. RX-78-2. I'm just going to like repeat that off the top of my head. RX-78-2. He does have enough similarity to him that I feel that the X factors between them are going to play the factor, and I think the X factors play more into Optimus's favor. But that's my opinion. I thought the person who would win the last Deathbattle, I had my belief who'd win the recent Deathbattle, and I was wrong on that. So, what do I know? Generally speaking, I've been actually getting them I mean, this is the first one I haven't called in a while. Give me a second. What was the last one I got wrong on that? 1 second here. 1 second here. We are just checking these old playlists. Alright then. So, go into the selected playlist. Okay. So, of the last ones I got, besides this most recent one, spoilers, but yeah, which ones did I not get right? Oh, yeah, the Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate one I didn't call, and I still call some bullshit on. Okay, like I said, I'm normally not one to be like, oh, you're wrong, Deathbattle, or anything. Normally, 90 to 95% of the time, I actually agree with the choice, because they do the proper research, almost always, I feel. But there's only been a handful of these where I did not agree with the outcome. The Goku versus Superman match, I don't think they understand quite the concept of what Goku's power actually was, and where it led to later on in the series. And I think they're just generalizing Superman as you can't beat Superman because he's Superman. Granted, I understand that in some concept is like Superman's got some freaking OP feats. But at the same time, you see where I'm getting. It's like I feel like you're just kind of you're labeling a character as something, and then you're basically saying because of that label, nothing can surpass that character, no matter how hard this character tries. I just feel that was kind of the same way. The Doctor Strange versus Doctor Fate fight, though, that was a bit of a different circumstance. I feel like they gave Fate, like once they got to the hand-to-hand, because here's the thing, once that helmet left Fate in that fight, and he started to actually beat the crap out, like hand-to-hand wise, beat the crap out of Doctor Strange, that's where I was like, okay, no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. He's okay in a fight. He's okay in hand-to-hand. But Doctor Strange is a master martial artist, or at the very least a very proficient martial artist. Whereas this guy is an adequate hand-to-hand fighter. That's not the same thing. And that, I feel, is where they kind of screwed over Strange in that fight unfairly. That was my opinion, though. Whatever. But again, like 90% of the time, I don't usually have an issue with how they call it, even if I get it wrong. Like, I have a little issue with the Ichigo versus Naruto fight, but whatever. I think I didn't call... Did I call the Virgil Sephiroth fight right? Even if I didn't, whatever. I didn't really have an issue either way. I didn't have an issue with the Kenshiro or Jotaro fight call either. The majority of these I've also gotten right too. So I mean, I'm just looking over all of these. Let's see here. Which one did I not get right? Also, yeah, the Hulk versus Doomsday fight. I got that one wrong as well. I didn't have a problem with the way they explained it though. So yeah, Scrooge and McDuck and Shovel Knight, didn't have a problem with that one. Voltron Megazord, I think I called that one right. I could be wrong. I think I've actually called it one way or the other when I both did the video and the prediction. Sub-Zero versus Glalis fight, I didn't have a problem with how they called that. Zero versus Metal Sonic one, that one just kind of came and went for me. I didn't really care about that one that much. And I didn't have a problem how they called it. Honestly, same with the Android 18 versus Miss Marvel Deathbattle one. I didn't have an issue how they called that. I didn't. So yeah, that's my general thought. I went overtime on this one more than I meant to. Perfect timing too. The damn phone rang. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you a little later today for What If and Who.